We're going to go over the Pythagorean theorem in this lesson. A couple things to remember is that it only works for right triangles, meaning it has a 90-degree angle in it. So if we look at a right triangle, we call what the sides labeled A and B legs, and the side labeled C the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is always the side opposite of the 90-degree angle. This is important when we come to our formula. So you need to remember that. So what the Pythagorean theorem states is that the area of the square that's connected to side A plus the area of the square connected to side B equals the area of the square connected to side B. So this A, all this space right here, plus the space right here of B, if you added those together, it's going to be exactly the area of C. So if we look at an example here, our right triangle has sides of 3, 4, and 5. Now the squares connected to them would have an area of 9, 16, and 25. So if you added 9 plus 16, you would get 25. Okay, now if we were to look at that based on the side lengths of the triangle, this is the same as 3 squared plus 4 squared, and that equals 5 squared. This is going to turn into our basic formula. So if we were to look, okay, the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Or you could say leg 1 squared plus leg 2 squared equals the hypotenuse squared. Okay, so if we started with some examples here. Okay, I'm going to write a squared plus b squared equals c squared, because we're trying to find what the hypotenuse length is. Now, it doesn't really matter what a and b you say is, but it does matter what c is. So I'm just going to fill in some numbers here. So 12 squared plus 5 squared would equal c squared. Well, 12 squared is 144, plus 5 squared is 25, would equal c squared. So 144 plus 25 gives you 169, equaling c squared. So what this states now is that the side of C, this side right here, multiplied by itself would give you 169, or the square that's connected to this side has an area of 169. But right now we're looking for what is C. C is the side length of this square that also corresponds to the hypotenuse of the triangle. So if we had the area of 169 and it was a square, to find the side length, we would have to take the square root of that. So we're going to take the square root of both sides, because the square root of c squared equals c. The square root of 169 equals 13. So the side length is 13, or the hypotenuse is 13. So those are the steps if you're looking to find the hypotenuse in a right triangle. Let's do another example here. So my right triangle is right here. So my hypotenuse, or C, is right here. It doesn't matter the orientation of the triangle. So I could write c squared equals a squared plus b squared. I'm just going to keep my equal sign lined up. You can put c squared on either side of the equation. c squared would equal 8 squared plus 5 squared. C squared would equal 64 plus 25. So c squared would equal 89. Okay, so the area of that square connected to c is 89, so I need to take the square root of both of these. C is going to be approximately, this isn't an exact perfect square, it's between 81 and 100, which is between 9 and 10. So approximately 9.5 would be my hypotenuse length. Okay, here's some examples that you can try, plus also a bit of a challenge question for you to try if you finish those.